Welcome back to Tech Garage, brought to you by RockAuto.com.
Well, it sounds like Zachary's got a problem when he's shifting. The car's grinding, whether it's a new car or an old car. They all shift the same. Check it out.
Hey, Tech Garage. I'm shifting through my transmission. It's making all kind of grinding noises. Should I replace my transmission or what?
Well, Zach, it sounds like you might need a transmission. If that's the case, Zimbrota offers an awesome manual transmission. But, you know, let's take a look inside and see what's going on, because there's a lot in there. Now, what happens, you have an input shaft right here, kind of brings the power into the transmission. It's spinning. Well, it has no direct connection to the output shaft on the other side. So what's happening when you're shifting gears there, Zachary, I'm going into these little synchronizers right here, and you can see these things move in and out. So when it's spinning, it moves over, bam, it locks that gear, goes down here through the counter shaft, comes up, delivers to one of the gears, bam, to the output shaft. First, second, third, whatever you get, as it's spinning, you lock that. Now, Brian, think about that. I mean, we're grinding the synchronizer on purpose. That's going to wear out over time. There's bearings on the ends Zimbrota has in there that actually supports it. Yep. Bearings on the front. You have the shift linkages, the detent. There's a lot going on inside that transmission.
There's a whole lot of technology in that entire mechanical process, from the clutch pedal through a slave cylinder, turning it into hydraulic action, then back to mechanical. And then if you've got any wear and tear in your clutch, your pressure plate, all of that gets in the way of a smooth transition like he just showed you.
Yeah, and they've been doing this for 30 years. I mean, they got an awesome transmission here.
Yeah,
we talked about all those seals.
So whether it's a replace, rebuild, whatever it is, you've got options these days for plug-and-play engineering. So Zimbrota's done a really good job with this transmission. The builder even puts his number on it right there. It says it's dyno tested. You know exactly what you're going to get. It's performing. They even tell you exactly what type of fluid you're going to need in that tranny and how to find that out. Of course, the speedometer cable connections, those are all protected. This could be a real easy plug-and-play solution for just about any application from Zimbrota.
Yeah, absolutely. They go through the whole case. You can see it's all pressure blasted here, brand new. They inspect it for any cracks. Like you said, it's dyno tested. Think about that. The bearings right here, all the new bearings, seals in there. Now they're going to go through and inspect all the synchronizers as well, everything in there. If I was to rebuild this, Brian, man, I got a counter shaft, another shaft, an input shaft, I got bearings, I got synchronizers. They come apart in a million pieces. They're going to go through it so you know you have a good quality unit here, all right? It's all tested, everything's there, it's ready to go.
And of course, even if you are doing this, go ahead and replace the clutch and pressure plate. Use an alignment tool. That makes life so much simpler. And of course, you may have to re-bleed that hydraulic slave cylinder, that system as well. Make sure you got no air bubbles in there. And then from the time you depress that clutch with your foot all the way through a gear transaction, it's smooth, it's working properly, and there's multiple ways to get there. You just have to do a proper diagnostic and understand, if you've got to plug and play a new tranny, you've got more options than ever, especially like this one from Zimbrota.
Sure, and you go to their website, they have some different options on there. You know, when you're doing the replacement, a couple of good tips for you. Sometimes you pull it out, it's got a pilot bushing on the front right here. Well, if you got a pilot bushing, sometimes they stay in the block. Now, I've seen guys do this. They put the one in there with a double pilot bush, and bam, they're breaking that ear off trying to pull it in there. You got different tools, clutch spline tools that you're going to put inside of your clutch here. Make sure it's all lined up. Make sure everything's in good shape here. Make sure it's on the actual pilot bushing going into the flywheel right here. Everything's holding. And then your pilot bushings, when you put your plate in here, make sure you tighten the bolts equally. Why? You want to protect your new investment here. This is a great transmission. It's all quality tested. It's all controlled. Everything looks really good. The shafts are in there. I mean, feel that, Brian.
Yeah, it's very, very smooth. I love that.
Now remember, there's a main shaft that goes through there. You're spinning it right there. Zimbrota checks that for straightness, make sure that's perfectly so our gears are matching. And then speaking about the gears, every one of the gears are inspected. I mean, each one of the tooth, because you have to have that perfect tooth pattern. You're going to have noise. This one here, absolutely perfect.
Absolutely. The thing I realized when I was on their website is they've got everything you need in a drivetrain solution. When we've got mechanical issues, we want solutions. So whether it's front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, the rear axle assembly we bolted on one of the earlier episodes, all the solutions are there. John, I even saw transfer cases, which got me thinking about a Jeep project I'm working on. So I love the Zimbrota transaction. I love how easy they've made it with all the engineering, and everything comes to you ready to go.
Yeah, a lot of options, just like a Honda Civic. You can get a gas motor or a hybrid. Hey, we went green. What do you think about that?
How about that? That was an interesting project. You can see all that technology behind the rear seat that you might never know otherwise, but it's got 14 volts coming back,
That's
right?
a cool
so we solved the problem.
Yep, cranked it up and bam, there it goes, 14 volts. We're in good shape. It's running great, no problem. We're in good shape, buddy.
Awesome. Hey, keep the feedback coming, all your questions. We love hearing from you guys on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I'll tell you what, we got a great show next week. We'll see you then on Tech Garage, brought to you by RockAuto.com.